FIM Supermoto World Championship has arrived in Tremazza on the Isle of Sardinia, west of mainland Italy. This idyllic island is a truly historic part of southern Europe and is an ideal destination for tourists. Not only is the weather often in your favour, but the local culture, food and festivities make it a vibrant place to spend your holidays. It also has significant motorsport pedigree as a host of not only the World Supermoto Championship, but the World Rally Championship. It's an island of 1.6 million inhabitants, with motorsport running through their veins. Weeks can be spent discovering the countless glorious views you can find on the coast and inland, but this weekend all eyes are on Tremazza. All eyes are on the FIM Supermoto World Championship and this year's title battle. There's a new man in orange, and Yulenevia Cortez has arrived in a big way.
I am 17 years old. I'm youngest rider in S1GP. It's my second race in S1 World Championship, and I want to try win for the rookie, my class, and I work for top 3 in the end of the championship in S1. For this session I have a new team, is MTR, KTM, and I'm very good feeling in my bike, in my team, my style, and I'm good, my bike is perfect, it's a one missile, and I work hard to improve in my bike is pushing up.
Cortez has certainly made waves already this season, with strong results at the season opening weekend in his native Spain. But now, MTR KTM's newest S1GP contender has to get to grips with Tremazza's Sardinia circuit, W98, a challenging circuit to contend with.
It's my first time in this circuit. It's very beautiful, but it's really very technical, the two parts of the off-road. In the asphalt is very beautiful, and tomorrow is have 2 races and keep calm for tomorrow and step by step.
So here's the circuit we're taking on this weekend. 2 dirt sections, as Cortez alluded to. Lots of technical challenges through the faster mid-speed corners on the tarmac as well. It's only a short circuit at less than 1.2 kilometers, but it's certainly one that will provide entertaining racing. Let's take a closer look with one of the Italian stars. This is Elia Sammartin.
Welcome to Sardinia track and follow me to discover the track. This is the first corner of the track. It's a very difficult corner because it's important to draw a good line for don't take too much brake here and take the gas here for take too much power for go and on the second corner. After the first very fast part of the track, we enter on the first part on the off-road part. Here it's very difficult to make a good brake with the bike because the grip is very slippery here. It's important for make a good speed on the berms, for take the speed for make a good section on the boops. 2 different options in this off-road part. The higher line is easy to make double on the wave for the straight. This is the most important corner of the track, the last corner. is very longer left corner. Here is important to take a good line. Here is possible to overtake another rider. It's more important this corner. This is the never-ending corner.
Well then, he's taken us on a walk, now he'll take us on a ride. This is a high-speed look at the Tremazza circuit with Elias Sammartin. Onto the main straight then, and very quickly through this first chicane. You can carry a lot of speed through there. Just one little left-hander, and it's already time to go onto the dirt. As Elias said, got to get that braking right, very slippery before they go through the waves, through the whoops. Quite a short first dirt section, but there's more to come as they blast back out onto the tarmac. Then this hairpin corner, one of the best overtaking opportunities. We saw that a few times in 2023. Unfortunately, in 2023, we didn't get to use the dirt section because of the weather. This year, it doesn't look like we have those issues. Onto the brakes again, an even trickier downhill dirt braking section as they head on to the second of the off-road parts of this course. A little bit more technical here, some more challenges to be had. You see most of them using that berm on the outside and then launching back up onto the tarmac with a flourish. And it's just a few corners now between yourself and the checkered flag, or at least the end of the lap. And here is the so-called never-ending corner. One apex, two apexes, eventually three, and then four left-hand apexes, one little right-hand flick, and it's a pretty quick lap of the Sardinia circuit W98. It's race one of the weekend, and Elias Sammartin was quick, but Thomas Chaillère was that little bit quicker. He's on the front row, Sammartin and Schmidt making up the three positions there. Avia Cortez, Steve Bonnell and Eric Tesconi on row 2. Roman Kuyvers, Tim Zalai and Jan Ullmann on row 3. Nedved, Prevaznik and Pernat making up the first 4 rows of the grid. It's race one of the weekend in Sardinia, and it's a good start from Mark Reiner-Schmidt on the inside. He moves up to second place. It's side by side for third between Bonnell and Sammartin, and there goes Avia Cortez. Oh, 3 wide, doesn't go through there, unfortunately. Bonnell hits the deck as Avia Cortez tried to sneak up his inside. Not sure if Sammartin managed to stay upright. Hopefully everyone could continue on in the race, but it's Chaillère and Schmidt out front. The two world champions, the 8-time world champion leading the race, the reigning and 3-time world champion in second place, Eric Tesconi. He's an Italian champion racing for TVR Racing Team. Great to have him with us this weekend, and he's right on the back of Avia Cortez in the early stages, but it's Thomas Chaillère that leads the way on the Honda. Still having to get used to that. SGR Grau Racing netting a big signing in the off-season. And so far, the combination of Honda and Chaillère has proven to be pretty potent. Dominated that first weekend in Spain, is the championship leader, but Mark Reiner-Schmidt looks like he's got every bit of the race pace that Thomas Chaillère has in the early stages here. They snake through the dirt once again. We skipped that initial dirt section on the first lap, as you saw, but we are now going through it. Tesconi there a bit wild over the exit of the second dirt section. Losing a bit of time to Avia Cortez at the moment, but still running nicely in 4th place. Oh, but we've had a switch. Mark Reiner-Schmidt is in the race lead. So Schmidt has gotten past Chaillère. Let's see if Thomas can retaliate. Mark Reiner-Schmidt leading the way. I think that's the first time all season that he's led a race. Defending champion didn't really have the start that he wanted in Spain, but it looks like Sardinia is suiting him well at the moment. What a treat to see these two. Mark Reiner-Schmidt still very much in his prime, and Thomas Chaillère has seemed to be rejuvenated this year. And look at the TM queue. Reimer on the 141 leading a queue of 4 for 13th place there. It's a TM in the front of the order as well. Elias Sammartin and Nedved Good to see that San Martin is back up then. He is running in 7th place now with that move on Nedved. Schmidt and Shire still going at it. Lap 8 of the race. Tesconi, is he under pressure? Yeah, through. I think that was San Martin on the recovery ride, now up to 4th position. So Elias San Martin is working his way back up there. Still not sure if Steve Bonnell is running or not. But Tesconi getting caught out there, 2018 Italian S3 champion. Quite the battle pack going through the dirt there as well. Avia Cortez having a fairly lonely race at the moment in 3rd position. Mark Reiner Schmidt is anything but lonely ever since he's gotten past Thomas Shire. Shire has been in those wheel tracks. Running out of laps though, if Shire wants to make a move, he's going to need to do it pretty quickly. Of course, Schmidt, such a versatile rider, he's good on the dirt. He's a very competent road racer on motorcycles as well. We've seen that in the German IDM championships. Shire not quite looking as comfortable there coming off the dirt versus Schmidt. The laps are running out for the Frenchman. This should be the first time he's been defeated in a race so far this season. Such was his form in Albaida. Further back in the field, Elias San Martin has caught up to Julian Avia Cortez. San Martin is looking really good here in Sardinia. Such a shame that he was caught out on the first lap of the race, but running well there in 4th position. And there we are on the offensive is the 32. Of course, that's out of the Gaza Racing stable. Julian Avia Cortez running for MTR KTM, but now running in 4th because Elias San Martin has gotten through. Line astern for the race lead. It's still Schmidt in the lead. San Martin still under pressure from Avia Cortez as well. Has Mark Reiner Schmidt got the measure of Thomas Shire in this first race? Just a few corners left to go. The never-ending bend, as Elias San Martin called it, but it is just about going to be a win for Mark Reiner Schmidt. He pips Shire to the line.
First race for me today here in Sardinia was great. I did a good start, was 2nd. I could pass Tom in the first lap, so I feel very good. Yeah, I have a good rhythm. Thanks to my team for the great work yesterday. So to all my sponsors, hopefully see you tomorrow back again on top of the box. Bye.
Great to see him back on the top step then. Mark Reiner Schmidt takes the first win of the weekend. Shire and Cortez first, 2nd and 3rd. Elias San Martin, though, gets put down to 4th position ultimately with a penalty. Tesconi, Ullman, Kivers, Nedved, Zalai and Pisai, your top 10. There's one thing that's for sure about the Sardinia round of the FIM Supermoto World Championship, and that's that there's always a show being put on, whether it's on 4 wheels or 2, alongside the FIM Supermoto World Championship. Lots of fans getting ready for this, coming along on the Sunday for the 2 all-important races to come, the Superfinal, and before that, the fast race. Of course, the World Rally Championship is here next weekend as well, so this really is a festival of motorsport for the people of Sardinia at this time of year. The fast race begins. Right now, we're underway, and it looks like another good start from Schmidt. In fact, no, the second phase didn't really work out for him. They bleed across the runoff area there on the first lap of the race, and it's Elias San Martin who is the closest pursuee of Thomas Shire in the early stages. Mark Reiner Schmidt, who we ride on board with here, in 3rd position. He did get a good launch initially, but the bike just tried to get out from underneath him as he launched away. Just 12 laps in this race as well, so less time for him to make his way by Elias San Martin and perhaps even Thomas Shire. San Martin looked really good in terms of race pace in that first race. However, he did get a track limits penalty. It was track limits that knocked him down from 3rd to 4th in the final classifications. Oh, and San Martin there a bit loose, rough and ready, coming off the dirt section. Certainly feeling the pressure from behind. Mark Reiner-Schmidt side by side with San Martin, and through into second position goes the reigning world champion. But is Elia San Martin going to try and fight back? Mark Reiner-Schmidt remains in second for now. Drifted wide at one of those apexes. I thought San Martin might be on his inside, but he was just squaring off the corner exit. There's the ground racing Honda of Thomas Chaillet onto the dirt, being pursued now by Schmidt. Schmidt has a good couple of seconds to make up there. In fourth place is that Steve Bonnell. I think it might be Bonnell there in fourth position, just ahead of Eric Tesconi. Bonnell did finish the first race on Saturday, but only 13th after hitting the deck on lap 1 of the race. There's your top 5 through shot. Chaillet closing in, or being closed in on, I should say, by Mark Reiner-Schmidt. They're at it again at the front of the order. Chaillet has been so impressive this year, but Mark Reiner-Schmidt looks like, here at this second destination of the season, it looks like his race pace might be a little bit better over the distance of a race. He just seems to be half a step ahead, maybe even less than that, but Chaillet has track position at the moment. That's the important thing. And of course, with Mark Reiner-Schmidt winning the first race, it's so important that Chaillet holds on. Villa Cortez only down in 7th place, so he's lost some ground in the early stages. Oh, and that's an opportunity for Mark Reiner-Schmidt. Chaillet did not get the run out of the last corner, and Schmidt is through. Mark Reiner-Schmidt is our race leader for the second time this weekend. He finds a way past Thomas Chaillet. Chaillet just didn't get the run out of the last turn. Looked like he was ever so slightly wrong-footed. Make no mistake, these riders constantly on the limit. And of course, your tyres are always getting dirty in these sections. You go back onto the tarmac, the grip just starts to build, and then you're on the dirt again. It's a very, very tricky facility here in Sardinia. We've had some great racing here already this weekend, and I suspect we haven't had the last of it because Thomas Chaillet is still on the back wheel of this TM. Agonizing wait to get on the power there through the never-ending corner. Schmidt and Chaillet with just 4 laps left to go. Tesconi, Kivers, Avia Cortez, they're all having a scrap. Tesconi a couple of bike lengths clear of the Belgian racer. Avia Cortez, love that knee-down style that he has. Tarmac, a little bit less traditional motard style than some of his peers. Chaillet studying the rear of Mark Reiner-Schmidt. There's not long left to go. Last lap of the race, and I don't think Chaillet's close enough. It's going to be 2 wins from 2 for Mark Reiner-Schmidt. He goes into the Superfinal with the advantage firmly in his favour. Chaillet put in a good race. He sits second. Third place for San Martin. Bonnell gets some good points on the board in 4th, ahead of Tesconi and Avia Cortez. Tim Zalai in 7th place, and Nedved bringing us down to 8th.
I'm happy for the result, but I'm not happy for my reading. I reading with too much stress, I don't know why, but now I try to my best for the Superfinal.
San Martin then will be looking to get his head in the game for the finale, but look at that, Mark Reiner-Schmidt on top by 6 points. San Martin 3rd, Avia Cortez 4th. Eric Tesconi rounding out the top 5. 2 Italians in the top 5. Super final time then, and it's Mark Reiner-Schmidt starting from pole alongside Thomas Chaillet and Elia San Martin. Then it's Bonnell, Tesconi and Avia Cortez on row 2 of the grid. Zalai, Nedved and Krasnicki on row 3. Row 4, Ullman, Kivers and Busai. Kivers falling out of the top 10 in the fast race, so he's got some work to do. We're underway in racing, and it's a good start from Thomas Chaillet. He leads ahead of Mark Reiner-Schmidt as the race begins. Eric Tesconi, we ride on board with him. He's been leapfrogged there by Avia Cortez on the first lap. So Avia Cortez, who started in 6th, is already challenging for the top 3 positions, but it's Elias Amartin in 3rd place, and it's Mark Reiner-Schmidt that leads the way. Schmidt in 1st, Chaillet in 2nd, shuffling around there in the first few corners. Onto the dirt for the first time, and Tesconi following the 4 championship regulars. Oh, and look at that, a lot of air there for Thomas Chaillet. Carried a lot of momentum over the jump. Mark Reiner-Schmidt it is, though, leading the way once again. Remember, in the previous 2 races, it was Chaillet who led early on, and then Mark Reiner-Schmidt had to do the hard work of getting by. This time around, the circumstances are different. Via Cortez there in 4th position. Elias Amartin running well for Gaza Racing in 3rd place. Over the dirt section they go for the 2nd time. Mark Reiner-Schmidt on the L30 Racing TM would love to get his first Grand Prix victory of the season and try and reclaim that red plate, of course. The red plate, championship leader plate, is adorned to Thomas Chaillet after that stunning performance in Spain. Tesconi over the whoops. Once again, just falling back a little bit from the top 4. But still running very well, remarkably well, actually. And oh, a slide to the inside there from Steve Bonnell. Bonnell getting up into 5th position then, got shuffled back a little bit on the first lap of the race, and he wants to try and go podium hunting if at all possible. Tesconi might try and hold on to his rear wheel as well and go hunting for Samartin and Cortez, but Samartin is staying with the top 2 at the moment. Schmidt, Chaillet, Samartin, your top 3. Already well over half distance in this one, and the gaps have seemed to remain about equidistant all race so far. No quarter given, and once again Thomas Chaillet is the high flyer here. He goes for the Joker lane, which is on the outside of the never-ending corner. Now this is a 3rd dirt section. Everyone has to do this once during the race. Has Thomas Chaillet done it at the right time? They only have to do it during the Superfinal. It's a bit like a Joker lane or a Joker lap in Rallycross. Schmidt now takes it as well. They won't have done this too many times during the weekend, so there are perhaps unforeseen challenges through this section. And look at that, through goes Thomas Chaillet. Chaillet goes through. That's huge, that's critical. And as we go on to the last lap of the race, Thomas Chaillet is in the front of the order. Mark Reiner-Schmidt will be furious. That must have been an incredible lap after the Joker lane from Thomas Chaillet. And he crosses the line to win the Superfinal. A huge effort from Thomas Chaillet. He claims 5 points back, and he will gain an additional point for that Superpole award, the Metzler Superpole. They're 1-2 in the race, and there'll be 1-2 in the Grand Prix standings as well. And look at that, they're tied, 75 points apiece, but with the Superpole point, and moreover, with that Superfinal win, Thomas Chaillet has claimed this year's Grand Prix of Sardinia. 2 Grand Prix wins to start the season for Chaillet. 3rd place for Elias Amartin. Mark Reiner-Schmidt 2nd. Not sure how happy he'll be with that, given just how good his performance was this weekend. But by dint of that Superfinal win and the Superpole point, it's Chaillet that takes the win here in Sardinia. What an effort from both riders this weekend, both looking like they were on top form. But the red plate goes to Thomas Chaillet once again. He still is the championship leader, but Mark Reiner-Schmidt has shown his potential for the first time this season after a difficult run in Spain.
Very difficult weekend. I struggled a lot with the bike during all the weekend, and I learned a lot behind Mark during the two races. And my only chance was the joker line, so I take the good decision and the good moment. We won the GP, very happy. We take the right place, so just perfect. Thanks everybody.
There we go, the Super Pole point proving to be critical this weekend. 14 points the margin between Shire and Schmidt at the front of the championship. Cortez, Sammartin and Steve Bonnell rounding out our top 5 in the championship. Now we go from Sardinia to mainland Italy. The Grand Prix of Piemonte is round 3 of the championship.